What a waste of Walter's time. Waste of
Well,
our time.
I mean,
Waste of Nia Vardalis' time.
that is the real crime, if we're being honest. I mean, I don't know. DJ Qualls made a good point at the end of this episode, which is that he was not doing anything with it.
We were at a real mirror of such a such. Better to do well than dream of dwelling for dreams. Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities, Episode 6.
Dreams in the Witch House.
More like credenza of atrocities. What the... That is a whimsical name for the horrors that are being reaped upon.
Credenza? It's really good.
Of atrocities. Really good. Holy moly. Holy moly!
Shadow box of horrors.
Yeah, this was a weird one.
It was a really weird one. I didn't hate it, but it was...
I didn't like it.
I didn't love it. It was really a lot. I will say this, though. I love that Rupert Grint is so good at acting.
Okay.
I think he's great. For like a stretch of the movies, of the Harry Potter movies, he's the best of them. And I think he's still good. It's not his fault this gave him absolutely nothing.
It was just such a convoluted story.
So, this one was also directed by Catherine Hardwicke.
It's Red Riding Hood was showing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I forgot she did that.
It was Walter and Epperly were twins, and she was sick.
Yeah.
And she was like, I think it's my time. And he was like, I'll find you. And then she died.
Yeah.
But then she was like a rainbow ghost. But then she got dragged
away,
to like Asphodel. It was like purgatory, maybe. There was a lot of people. And she said later that it was because she was either in denial or not ready to go. But then she missed her window. And I was like, that's terrible.
That's terrible.
And so he like lives his whole life trying to figure out occult stuff. Like he joined some
it's like a society. Those existed. That's
like a magician's
like a real thing. Yeah.
Society with and a baffling is
Ismael Cruz Cordova.
Yeah, he did nothing.
He also didn't believe until the witch was staring him in the face.
Well, he looked great. I have a lot of goodwill for him because of Rings of Power. He was good on that. And
his aim was way worse in this.
He was charming in this, but I didn't fully understand what his character was. Again, I was desiring gay stuff, and I didn't get it. And, like, they saw a, like, sham witch seance lady that was Nia Vardalis.
Yeah.
In considering her minute and 30 seconds of screen time, she had two dynamic looks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like it was kind of a waste of her.
Because they don't understand, other than setting the tone that
he was just looking for
is fake.
A real medium. Yeah.
And so then he found like this Native American dude, this like hot guy with braids.
Yeah.
And he gave him...
His name is Wesley French. He was on some episodes of Outlander. He is hot.
They also sang the Outlander song a lot.
It's called the Skyboat song.
What?
They did, yeah.
It was kind of like a fever dream.
You and Will both are just like the Outlander song, and I'm like, it's a real song though, with like a real name.
And so they like gave him liquid gold in this like speakeasy, and it was in Salem again.
Somewhere in the Northeast.
He asked for a telephone at one point, and I was like,
what
where are we?
What the hell year is it?
Yeah, because I could not figure.
It felt very, so like Victorian and turn of the century is very when like all the occult stuff was happening, as like for like Penny Dreadful is like around that time too. So,
and I mean, that's telephone adjacent.
Yeah, but it was feeling, all the clothes too were feeling very like before the time.
But the way he was saying to like the nun, where he was like, give me your phone. I half expected her to hand him a hot pink razor.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like it was very,
absolutely.
It was very strange. And so because he drank the liquid gold, he
could go in
through the fireplace into the purgatory, but then it like pulled him out. And then there was a painter who, why was she?
Her name was Mariana. She was cursed by Keziah Mason.
We'll get to her.
She's been in almost every episode. She's all the monsters. She's like the Doug Jones of this series.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Liz or Liza, maybe Lizzie. Yeah, Johnston. She's pretty good.
Maybe Liza. I really liked Keziah Mason. It was one of my preferred design, and especially it got a little silly by the end where she was just sort of like a walking tree stump.
Yeah.
But the like creeping around the corners was really effective.
Yeah.
But so because of the painter, she was like living in the witch house. So he went to the witch house because he thought it could open a portal to this world.
I think he thought if he were like nearer to like the source of it, I guess he would be able to pull Epperly back.
And so because it's where Keziah lived with her rat person, Jenkins Brown.
A mystifying cameo by DJ Qualls.
I don't know that it's the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's top 3.
It's pretty bad. It's really pretty bad.
Because the production kept presenting it to us like it was that's a thing. Yeah. Like we don't need to be eased into it. Like,
no, human-faced rats, you know all about that.
And he was talking and chewing on wires, and it was it was very like old hat. And I was like, no. We need to dip a toe.
It's not like the chipmunk in Enchanted. It's not like that.
Well, I was having cats like shell shock. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I just got so nauseous.
That's really where it took me, and I was just like, you did not prepare us for the horrors that we were about to entail. So Keziah, and I guess Jenkins Brown was her familiar, and well, we later see the body, and it is just tiny human skull with a human skull.
Yuck! Come on, guys.
So I guess he's her familiar, and they need twins in order to come back for some reason. Yeah, and like
twins are crazy, powerful,
mystical things. But like Walter he's got one thing on it, tunnel vision.
Okay.
Gilman, because he's bringing his sister back. That we know.
That we know. If we know one thing. Here's the thing for me. I don't have any siblings. I think I would simply move on if one of them died.
Because at a certain point, she was sort of like, enough, dude. Like,
yeah.
But then it implied that she was just stuck there because she was confused when she died. And I hate the optics of that.
Sure.
That if you're not Johnny on the spot when you die.
If you're not like, no unfinished business.
Fully at peace. And although this was the only thing we have seen yet that gave us a glimpse of any type of serenity.
Sure.
And it was when she... The second time she died and she evaporated, and there was too many elements. There were too many elements because I love when they're running around because he does manage to get her. So Keziah was in the purgatory as well.
Somehow, yes.
No, she wasn't supposed to be there because Epperly was like, "You brought her here."
So then I'm not sure. Maybe she was haunting the house.
Yeah, well, because she lived there because her body was in the attic, but it was like she needed to walk through a portal or something. I don't understand. So he brought Epperly back, and then it turned into like Hocus Pocus, where he's like touting her around, and she's just this rainbow ghost.
Well, she was like almost corporeal because she was touching him at one point, and then he said she's getting stronger at another point. So, yeah. Well, and then we went and fucked with Sister Lucretia.
Mariana, and which this is now, Lucretia was the name of the witch in the previous episode. Crispin Glover's.
No, Lavinia, or Lavania.
So Lavania, Madame Levine, and now Sister Lucretia. Yeah. I don't know. It's a little, like, let's put some wedges in here.
I don't know, maybe being a horrible racist makes you bad with L names. Or all the same.
H.P. Lovecraft. This was an H.P. Lovecraft. So they like broke into Sister Lucretia's church and
seeking sanctuary, and she was like, "Get the fuck out!"
I was like, she borderline had like a bazooka, and like
she was like, "No,
peace be with you!" Boom! Like it got really weird, and also because like when when Keziah was like whipping around, there was like a place where there was like a stained glass window, and she was kind of like, and then she was like, woohoo! It was really, it was all very strange.
I'll raise your peace be with you, and instead have her say, peace will be only with me.
Well, then she got pieces in her.
Yeah,
I didn't care for that either. Well, and I don't know if that killed her or not, and the story didn't care.
Yeah, so she fell down on the ground, so.
So then what happened?
Well, Epperly
Ismael Cruz was back.
Yeah, and
because they tapped him out for a while.
He finally that was what he needed to use the razor phone for to call him in. Yeah, and then he just like her paintings were like you can't both exist at the same time somehow.
The painting spoke.
The paintings were like, and then she just kept on pulling more of them out every time they were like.
I was like, can we complete this Midsummer-esque
before we keep talking? Because every time they were like, oh well, like if we can just avoid this, and she was like, not so fast. I've got another one.
But it also seems like it's the first time she's put together that they're parts
like
of a larger whole
kind of thing. Yeah.
Which I mean, I suppose that works, but so then. I forget how or why Epperly evaporates.
She
did he knowingly let her, or he was trying to trade with her, wasn't he?
I think so, yes. And she finally was like, dude, I'm already dead. Like, I'm good now. And so she got to go up.
Okay. And then Jenkins Brown somehow. Oh, well, okay, yeah, no, because Epperly came running in because Keziah had the wand and she was going to poke Keziah out. Yeah. And then Epperly came running in and stabbed her, and then she, like, splintered. Yeah. And then Jenkins got in his stomach and crawled out.
Like Alien.
Uh-huh.
And then he crawled, like, almost, as soon as Ismael and Mariana had decided he was dead, and they, like, I guess we're just leaving him.
And that was hilarious too, because Ismael was like, call the cops and like call 911. And she was like,
a rat with a human face burst out of his chest. I think he's extremely dead. And so then essentially the minute he was alone,
Jenkins Brown.
Gordon Jenkins.
It's really.
He's just like jumped, squelched right back in there. And then just buttoned up and went about his way, and then he kicked a
poor person, so he stole an apple.
And then he stole an apple right off the back of while he made like prolonged eye contact with the man, and he just was like,
well, no, the guy was like, what the fuck? Wait, he was having a good time. Yeah. It ended on a high note.
For Jenkins Brown, it did. No one else.
Gordon Jenkins.
Okay.
Oh,
man.
Bye.